Well, good afternoon and welcome to another Lenten reflection. Here we are in the middle of the second week of Lent. How's it going for you? If you are watching this reflection, I suspect that you take your spiritual life seriously. In so doing, perhaps your Lenten quest is to discern the will of God for you. And in seeking God's will, we confirm the place of God in our lives. So let me share with you a true story. When I was in graduate school, I had the gift of studying with a noted scripture scholar, Jerome Murphy O'Connor, an Irish Dominican priest. He was a learned and opinionated man. On a particular day, a student asked him about knowing God's will, as assuredly as it seemed that Paul did in writing his letters to the various churches he had founded. O'Connor replied with some strength in his voice, "You people who live in the West go off to retreat to find God's will. And in fact," he continued, "you go to discover your own will. And if you are a faithful praying person, your will may even be God's own." He went on to refer to the verse from Jeremiah that says of God, "I know the plans I have for you, plans for your good and not for evil." Sounds just like the plans, the hopes that parents have for their children. They do desire the best for their children, but it's up to their children to make the choices for that life. And let me add that when life doesn't go well, God may still draw good. So in this Lent, let's be honest about our will. What is it we seek in the deepest part of our hearts and souls? For God's will is simply for the fullness of our lives. May we reflect on the choices we have made since last Lent, take responsibility for poor choices we may have made, and resolve to make the best choices for the fullness of our lives. And God will be pleased. Let us trust that when we discern what we will, we may be doing God's will for sure. So thank you for listening, and tune in again next week.